All right, welcome to the show this week, everybody. I hope everybody had a great week in the world of cord cutting. I hope you just had a great start of summer for people who are kids are getting out of school already. Just hope everything is going great. I am running super late today. Just family reunion coming up, and everything's been so busy. I've been running behind. So bear with me as I set this up. For everybody rolling in now, people watching this on repeat, thanks for joining us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. I'm answering your cord cutting related questions. This week may be a little bit shorter because of the short, family trip I'm coming up on, excuse me. But we will be here, try to answer all your cord cutting questions as best I can, and see what I can do to give you make the most out of your cord cutting experience, I should say. All right, let's get this on social media, and then we will start answering your questions. So I'm trying to come up with a slightly better way to do this. It may take me a few weeks to get my idea in place for this, but bear with me. I got a really cool idea coming up. All right, so this is live on Twitter. There we go. We are going live on Facebook. Hello, movie fan Craig, Richard, Duff, Teresa. It's good to see the notification team showing up. I really appreciate your support being here every week. All right, paste that there. Switch this over here. Post it. Hello, Tom. Will Charter Spectrum and wireless affect upcoming T-Mobile Sprint merger? No, I don't think. If anything, Charter launching their own cell phone service, but from my understanding, is it will. Excuse me, I'm talking and reading. It doesn't always work. If anything, it'll make T-Mobile Sprint merger more likely because it will show the FCC, FTC, etc., that there is real competition in the world of cell phone providers out there. But for now, that's all I gotta really feel on it. We'll have to wait and see it till when it really launches and we get all the details. Best streaming service for regional sports. Pretty much all the major ones, YouTube TV, DirecTV Now, Sling, etc., all offer it. So I would say pretty much any of them that are the major ones. Philo doesn't have most of them. Hulu's got a good number. Fubo's got pretty much all of them, etc. All right. There we go. Everything's live everywhere. Sorry, literally like 2 minutes ago, I slid in here to get this out. Chris, Thomas, Sarita? Am I saying that right? I hope if I'm butchering, I'm known for butchering names. Let me just get this out there. I butcher people's names. I understand. People butcher my last name all the time. But hey, I'll do my best to help you. Will Apple TV replace the cable box with Charter Spectrum deal? Maybe, but remember, Roku's had this for years. For years now, Charter has had a Roku channel. Time Warner Cable before that. Comcast is on Roku. What the Apple is doing is nothing new. Eventually, maybe. Charter just released their own brand new box out there. The new cable box, whatever they're calling it. Similar to the Comcast Xfinity One. So they're definitely not abandoning set-top boxes. But I will say, Apple is clearly, everything in that announcement was geared towards cable. There was pretty much nothing cord cutting announced during their developers conference. It's very clear that Apple is betting more heavily on cable than they are on cord cutting, which is very strange to me. When do you think Hulu Live will launch on the NVIDIA Shield? Hulu has said in one of their AMAs on Reddit that the user base of Android TV is small and it's on their list of to upgrade and add. But with the user base being so small in Android TV, they just don't plan on doing it right now. So just keep that in mind for now. All right. Keep the questions coming. I will do my best to answer them. All right. I'm going to... All right, back to the questions. I saw your post on NewsOn. Great improvement, highly recommended. Hey, I'm glad you saw that. So if you are a Roku user and you're not checking out NewsOn, it's a pretty cool service. It's currently on Roku, iOS, and Android devices. Hopefully other devices soon. But it allows you to stream local news from around the United States. And they have like 200 channels streaming on it. It's really cool. I really like the new update. Even if you're not a big news person, it's a very helpful service. When there was the hurricanes, it was kind of cool because you could look at like the Florida news stations and see what was happening in the areas being impacted. What are your predictions for the T-Mobile Sprint merger? Of any time for that particular merger to happen, I think right now is the one where it's most likely to be approved because of the fact that there is like Charter launching their own. There is Dish getting into it, Google getting into it, Microsoft and others getting into the cell phone business. That for now it becomes very competitive, and that makes the possibility of FTC, FCC being more likely to approve the merger. Best antenna for the Capital District. You know, I'm not gonna recommend a particular antenna, but I will recommend particular brands. Mohu, Antenna Direct, RCA, which Turk and RCA Antenna, same company. And I feel like I'm blanking out on one that I would typically recommend. But keep that in mind. That I will be doing. I will have a or I will have something for that soon. I'll try to post a list of recommended antenna brands. But Antenna Direct, Mohu, RCA, Turk, the WineGuard a lot of people like. That's a pretty good one there too. I may be ordering a Channel Master Android TV box when they get Plex set right. Don't count on the set and the Stream Plus from Channel Master supporting Plex natively. It seems pretty deliberate that Channel Master has blocked the ability to access their tuner so that only their software can access the tuner. Why? I don't know, but we'll see. All right, hey, if I haven't answered your questions, please re-ask it. I will do my best to answer them. Often when I'm answering one question, other questions fly by and I'm not able to answer them. I'm also seeing some new faces here. Hey, welcome. Cord Cutters News is a news group dedicated to covering all things streaming over their TV. Every day over at cordcuttersnews.com, link in the show notes. We post 5, 6, 7, 10 stories all about the world of cord cutting, streaming, Netflix, Hulu, DirecTV Now, Sling TV, etc. And we do our best to keep you up to date. Every Wednesday we're here live. Every week we also post recap shows, reviews, how-to guides, etc. So I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, give us a thumbs up. It really does help us, but hopefully we can help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. All right, I heard anything about TiVo supporting YouTube TV. I wouldn't expect their older Romeo devices to get YouTube TV. It's possible. They haven't really been doing much with it. Remember, TiVo is getting out of the hardware business. So TiVo is no longer making hardware. They've sold it to some other company. The other company is going to take care of the manufacturing, the development, I believe even mostly, and the selling of TiVo boxes. Similar to how BlackBerry sold their phone side over to TLC or TCL. The same company that makes Roku TVs now makes Blackberries. Well, BlackBerry's still around, but they're more of a software enterprise company now. TiVo's now more a patent licensing company, and they do some other stuff too. But their hardware they're getting out of it. So I'd be very shocked with a third party taking over that third party would go back and update the older TiVos. I just don't expect that to happen. Any timeline for the new over-the-air TV 3.0 standard? So yeah, it's still in testing. It looks like 2019 is when we'll probably start seeing that really roll out. We may see a market or two try to get some press by making a launch of 3.0 standard by the end of this year. But 2019 is kind of what I'm looking at right now. Would you recommend what would you recommend to stream over the air on a Roku? Watch Air Antenna or Air TV 2. I think both are great. TiVo is a great one too, because it will allow you to have DVR. If you want to use your current antenna, I would get the AirTV 2, the black one, the network device, and then, or I would get a Tablo DVR. The Watch Air is a good antenna, but it does have some limitations with it, so just keep that in mind. And if you go on this channel, you type in Watch Air, I have a full review of it right here on Core Cars News' YouTube channel. I just got a Tablo TV. What should I expect from Tablo now? Tablo DVRs, I've had one now for like 3-4 years. Extremely happy, very reliable. Same one still working, and they keep updating it. So I would say just expect them to keep developing it, growing it. Luke, any update on MoviePass? I think the service won't last to 2019. Very possible. Debates over how profitable it will be. The parent company that owns MoviePass has also been going around buying other related services. Moviefone just got bought up by them. Yep, Moviefone is still around. Still a very popular website. And some other smaller ones out there. So the parent company has some money. I know there was a report that they're running out of money, but don't be surprised if they suddenly get an infusion of cash before that would happen. They seem to be pretty dedicated to making MoviePass work. My wife just signed up for it. She's a much bigger movie fan than I am. I just don't have the time. So keep an eye on that. I think there's some cool stuff happening over there. What's a good budget soundbar? If you can wait for it, this fall. The TCL is launching their Roku Connect powered one. So if you have a Roku TV or Roku, I would wait until that happens. Past that, I think most soundbars are very competitive. When you get in the lower end, mid range ones, I think they're very similar. Now, when you get into the higher end, the Bose Wave, the Sonos, etc., if you're willing to pay money, those are some really good soundbars. I'm very intrigued by the one from TCL that has the all the integration to the Roku TV line. So we'll wait and see. JBL has a new Android TV line where the Android TV box is built into the soundbar, and then you connect the soundbar to your TV. That's interesting. Again, not out yet. So yeah, those are the ones I would check out. Look, why do you think that states don't treat broadband like an electric utility, with one connection to a house and multiple providers connecting for your ISP business? Couple things. Most states don't even do that. For instance, in Michigan, it's kind of a monopoly system where Consumers Energy is the big one up there. And if you live where Consumer Energy offers power, that's the only one you get. It works a lot different. Now, there are some laws. For instance, AT&T has a lot of like DSL Extreme and Toast.net running on their networks. And that happens because of rules that happened when Mobile broke up, that AT&T has allowed competitors onto their networks. There's a lot of talk about that. But in all honesty, the wired connection to your home is just dated. And that's an old technology that is extremely expensive to maintain, extremely expensive to roll out, and very time consuming. With 5G and fixed wireless coming out, that's just kind of the future. So it's kind of a mute point, to be honest with you, to look at a fixed connection versus a wireless connection. That's just what's happening right now. Any update on the movie fan? Any update picks on DirecTV Now? I don't know if I understand your question. Can you re-ask it? What do you mean by picks? I'm trying to talk to media.com. Oh, Gary, I think I must have jumped in a conversation right there. Sorry. If I haven't answered your question, I know a lot of people are having side conversation. That's awesome. Keep going. But I may have missed your question. Re-ask it. While I do that, I'm going to quickly hit a commercial. Some of you are going to see a quick 15-second ad. Hey, it helps me support my family. Thanks for supporting us. Bear with me here. For everybody else who is here, re-ask your questions. And don't forget, we have an iOS and Android app in the show notes. If you use the app, we would love a 5-star rating. Help us spread the word of cord cutting. Please share it with your friends and hit that right there. I would greatly appreciate that. Again, if you want to add our app, link in the show notes down there. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. Unbelievably helpful to us. Even if you don't want to watch our videos, just hitting that subscribe button is pretty cool. Just saying. All right, hey, jumping back into the questions. Thanks everybody who saw that commercial. You just helped me pay for my kid to go to school. All that food and stuff she needs. Wireless connections are good until they're not, and all security is lost. My concern about 5G. I wouldn't be worried about 5G. I mean, cell phones have proven that it can be very secure and reliable. And if you are concerned about it, just use a VPN. I know whenever I travel, I'm on public Wi-Fi, I always use a VPN. Not because I'm trying to get around any geographic limitations, just because I want to make sure all my information is secure. Will you do an updated review of DirecTV Now 2.0? Yes, I intend to do an updated review of DirecTV Now 2.0. It's a little buggy right now, so I kind of wanted to wait. We have a written review coming up here, hint, just FYI. But I kind of wanted to wait until I got my full hands on it. So maybe in a week, I'll do one next week or the week after. We'll see how my schedule all breaks out. But we will be doing a full video update on DirecTV Now 2.0. But look for a written one tomorrow or Friday, depending on how my schedule goes. How to know if AT&T has fiber in your area? Give AT&T a call and ask them. It's either going to be AT&T, CenturyLink, or Verizon. Those are kind of the big three. There's a couple other smaller providers too. Luke, what do you think about Facebook Watch driving in the mainstream media today? So yeah, so Facebook announced a deal with CNN, Fox News, ABC, and Univision, and a few others are about a new deal where Facebook's reporting paying 6-7 figures for these partners to produce a year's worth of content. Now, these are not live feeds. This is going to be a free show, and it's going to be kind of like an evening news program from each one of these on Facebook and Facebook exclusively. I think it's good. My big concern is Facebook has been cracking down on smaller news organizations. Even Cord Cutters News has been affected by this. Facebook went out and in January, and you can read it. They had a whole press release where they probably said, "Hey, we're cracking down on pages. We're going to de-emphasize pages. We're going to do this, that," all in an effort to fight fake news." Quotes. Kim Komando, which I don't know if anybody here is familiar with that she's been around since the 90s. I think it's the largest weekend talk show. It's all about technology. I listen to her often. She was talking about when that happened, she went down from like 400 simultaneous people come to her site to maybe 30, 40 people at once. So like 90% of her traffic vanished. We're affected nearly as bad. We lost about a third of our Facebook traffic when Facebook cracked down on fake news by de-emphasizing news and de-emphasizes pages. Thankfully we only lost a third of our traffic. Haven't even fully recovered that, even though we've added tens of thousands of subscribers to our Facebook page and group. Fewer people are seeing our posts than they were a year ago, which is very disheartening. And it makes me worry about Facebook coming out here and saying, these are our approved news organizations: Fox News, CNN, Univision, ABC. These are the ones that we're going to get back behind and say, these are real news groups. That really does make me concerned that small news organizations like newspapers, smaller TV stations, smaller news radio groups, smaller news sites like Cord Cutters News, etc., is someday gonna face the extinction, or on Facebook at least. Thankfully, we've seen the upcoming issues, and we went and we've diversified a lot. We've launched the app, we've launched notifications, we're growing the daily newsletter. Just because we've recognized that Facebook doesn't care about us. Which is funny because a week before they made that announcement, they called, set up a phone appointment. We had a phone call with Facebook where they're like, we think you're great. We want you to buy ads on our site for people to come and like your page. Grow your page on Facebook, and we'll help you develop an ad platform to do it. 2 weeks later, they're like, never mind. You can still buy ads, but most of those people who subscribe aren't going to see your content anymore. And yeah, tough luck. And it's all in their effort to fight fake news. What you think about fake news, how influential is it, how much of a real trouble it is up to you. I understand it. But at the same time, I do have concerns over that. So that's my rant of the day. Moving on now. Your Facebook app's hard to read, keeps jumping around. Depending on your connection, your device and something, I have heard from some people that the Facebook ads aren't quite loading or the ads on the app aren't quite loading right, hang in there. We have a fix for that coming. If you think the text is too small in the app, if you go into the settings, you can dramatically increase the size of the text. There is a day-night mode, so you can make the background black with white text, or white background with black text. It's really up to you. So there's some things there. As far as the ads on a few devices not loading properly, where what it does is that there's different ad sizes that could possibly load. What it's doing right now is it opens the maximum space, and then it figures out, oh, I don't need all that, so it shrinks it, which slides the page up a little bit. That is something we're looking at fixing. Just hang in there. We're working on that. Yeah, Joe, that was my daily rant, but hey, it's my YouTube account. I can rant, right? Right? People, you don't mind, do you? I don't know. Let me know. DirecTV Now DVR should be available on Roku now. Yeah, so that launched this week. We broke it. So here's another one for Court Cars News. We broke that the DVR was live long before AT&T announced it. So just keep checking the site. But yeah, it's on Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku, Android, and iOS devices now have the new DirecTV Now. Let's put this in air quotes 2.0, which is really their updated version. What streaming services will have the World Cup? Hey, movie fan, pretty much there's a ton of them out there, and it'll be also available over the air for free. But go to courtcarsnews.com, type in World Cup, and like one of the first 3 stories that comes up in the search will be a full guide to how to watch the World Cup. So check that out. And we have guides for English and foreign languages in there. Have you heard about any rollout issues with Roku 8.1? They have started rolling it out. It has been slower than expected. Maybe they paused it. I'm not sure, but it's coming. Luke, what ISPs don't have data caps? That's a list that's too long to quickly list, but some of the big ones are Charter, Verizon, and so on. I think CenturyLink has dropped theirs in most markets. Don't count me on that, though. Double check your terms of service on that. But yeah, it really depends on where you live. Usually you have 2 or 3 to pick from. Call both and ask. And then double check it on their terms of service, because they may just lie to you. Hey, if I haven't answered your question, re-ask. I'll do my best to answer it. Opinion of the Mediasonic HomeWorks DVR? I'm not familiar with the Mediasonic. I haven't tested it, so I'm not going to give an official opinion right now. Always trying to give you all the details we possibly can on it. My Roku Ultra has an 8.1 build. Yeah, so some Roku have it, some don't yet. It's rolling out. I would expect in the next week or 2 to have it on pretty much all of them. Hey everybody, it's great seeing so many new people here. If you are new, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification. Every week we're right here, 8 p.m. Eastern, answer your Court Card related questions, 9 times out of 10. We also do how-to guides, videos, reviews, and a weekly recap show all here on YouTube. But at courtcarsnews.com, link in the show notes, we post 5, 6, sometimes 10 or more stories every single day about the world of cord cutting. Would love to see you over there. It's really the best place in my opinion, not that I'm biased or anything since I own the site, but to get all the latest cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and how-to guides. So check that out. Do I cover Prime Day deals? You better believe it. I will have all the latest Prime Day deals over at courtcarsnews.com. And we'll be covering that left and right to make sure you get the best possible deals out there. How come Univision and Telemundo don't have a English version of it? You won't need it because Fox is airing pretty much every game in English. So if you can get, in most areas, if you can get Telemundo with your antenna, you can get Fox. Again, go to Court Cars News, type in World Cup, and you'll find a full guide there. I'll try to repost that tomorrow, too. Luke, I cut the cord 1 week ago today. Congratulations, welcome. The only thing I miss is the Fox News channels. Do you think Roku channel will add Fox News? No, Facebook does have the new Fox News show. It's a one-day show, but there's a lot of streaming services that offer Fox News. Go to Court Cars News in the search box, courtcarsnews.com. Type in Fox News Guide, and you'll find a full breakdown of all the services that you can subscribe to get Fox News. When is Prime Day? It's typically in July, if I remember right. We're probably a month or so away from it, but we will be posting all the details about when we learn more. All right, let me see if I miss anything. Luke, what is your favorite streaming service? Ooh, that's a tough one. I typically find myself Netflix, Amazon, Hulu using mostly. I love Newson. I love Curiosity Stream, just don't have the time to watch it like I used to. Those are my favorites. Add in and Nintendo are pretty good. Tubi, Crackle are pretty good. Collection of live TV streaming services are pretty good. It's football season, I get that. When Silicon Valley's on, I get HBO, but only during Silicon Valley. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What service, Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC, do you think will offer a standalone service? Fox News has already announced that they intend to, by the end of this year, launch a standalone service. Now, it won't be a live feed from the current one. It'll be other original programs from Fox live stream.net. Is my site concerned about net neutrality? No, my site existed before there was ever net neutrality. Here's the thing about net neutrality. Really short rant. Everybody blames net neutrality for everything right now. And what's funny is most of the, even stuff that happened during net neutrality is blamed because net neutrality is ending. And I was like, well, that happened when there was net neutrality. What? And you see that a lot right now. My site existed years before the so-called net neutrality bill when it existed. My site will exist after the net neutrality bill existed. So no, I'm not concerned about net neutrality. Do I think the principle behind net neutrality is good? Yes. I wasn't all that happy, particularly with the enforcement of the previous net neutrality bill, because a lot of things that really aren't net neutrality happened. For instance, prioritized data, zero rating stuff happened, all kinds of stuff that you can make a very legitimate argument was not true net neutrality. So there's definitely issues on both sides of it. Am I concerned about it? No. I existed before there was net neutrality. Because remember, net neutrality only existed for about 2 years. We only had net neutrality for 2 years. And the way a lot of people talk, you think that it's been around since the internet was created. And that's just not true. So, and we will exist long after net neutrality is gone. All right. Try DirecTV Now on my Roku. 7-day trial for the NBA playoffs. Liked it a lot. Oh, good. Yeah, and many states are rolling out net neutrality bills right now. A California U.S. Senate actually who is currently running has concerns that too many 5G cell phone towers. Could this be a problem for the environment? No, because it's not going to be. Here's the thing: people are like, "Oh, there's going to be extra cell phone towers when 5G comes out. That's going to flood the environment." In reality, it's the same coverage. So 5G has a smaller range than 4G. It's on a different frequency, and it doesn't go as far. Because of that, they're calling small cells, where they're going to put these very small cells on top of things like light poles and power poles. And they're incredibly small, and you wouldn't even realize they're there. They're already out there. For instance, have you noticed any big flagpoles? Have you just been driving down the street like, oh wow, that's a big flagpole with a big American flag, or if you're here in Texas, a Texas flag on it? That's actually a cell phone tower in that flagpole, and that's what they're doing right now. So it's not any issue because it's not like they're overlapping. What instead is happening is they're saying, well, if it only goes 50 yards instead of 100 yards. Instead of having every 100 yards a tower, we're going to go every 50 yards. So there's the restart moment. I will be buying a new camera someday. So every 50 yards there's a tower, but the coverage of the transmissions out there is exactly the same as it is with every 100 yards. Keep in mind that everybody out there, you can hear a lot of crazy stuff on YouTube. So all those people, take them with a grain of salt. I always find it interesting. Like there was a news story on this, and it was like some random person from some neighborhood is concerned about 5G cell phone towers going on the light poles. The issue being, who are these people? Are they doctors? Are they scientists? often they're not. So just keep it in mind when you watch something on YouTube. It's just like, who are you? What's your credentials? What evidence are you really presenting? And go look at it, because I've been very happy with the testing and the safety reports. Luke, do you watch the Quest channel here? I have seen the Quest channel, and I think it's a great channel. If you get it, it's pretty much like the History channel for free over there. Luke, any updates on the New York State neutrality bill? Net neutrality bill? No, but I'm looking into it. Kyle asks, is PlayStation Vue dying? That's an interesting question. So Sony has deliberately said, no, we will not be shutting down PlayStation Vue, even though some analysts have called and said that PlayStation Vue should be shut down. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Will they go all their way to shut it down? We don't know what the future holds. It definitely is not growing as fast as the competition. That's why the analysts are calling for it. There's rumors of some financial issues with it. Because it's not growing at the same rate as the competitors. They still haven't hit the million mark in subscriber numbers, which, DirecTV now, Hulu is even reportedly outpaced them. YouTube TV is either close or has more subscribers. So that is a cause for concern. There's real business things to look at that and say, your competitors are blowing by you in terms of subscribers. There's a financial issue here. On the flip side, PlayStation Vue, Sony has said, well, we kind of view it as a data service. So people watch this content, we can look at what they're watching, and then we can use that information to make new movies, new TV shows that we think will be what people want based on the data we gathered from PlayStation Vue. As long as that data becomes valuable to Sony, that they can use that, they'll probably continue to pay for a PlayStation Vue, even if it's losing money. So just keep that in mind. History Vault, do I use it? I have used it in the past. I am not now. My TV time is just not what it used to be. But I've been very, very pleased with it, and I think it's a great service if you love the good old-fashioned History channel back what it used to be back in the day. Robert says the drop in poor subscriber numbers is because of the name for PlayStation Vue. Drop the PlayStation, it confuses people. I agree. PlayStation Vue confuses people. It should be just called Vue TV or Sony Vue would be both great options. And I think they'll add 300, 400,000 new subscribers like that just by making that one change. Unfortunately, Sony I just don't get them. Yeah, I will agree also. The combination of raising people's price at the same time you went and dropped a bunch of channels was not good marketing. I would wonder why 5G is going to offer true unlimited non-throttle or charge with gigabyte speeds. Then why is it 4G LTE truly unlimited? The reality behind it is they're two different technologies. 5G is a completely different technology than 4G. 5G is able to handle far more traffic, far more devices than 4G. There is a bandwidth bottleneck on 4G. You can overload 4G. In 5G, it's being designed and it works totally different, runs on a different frequency. Part of the thing too about having smaller cell phone towers, so even though it doesn't go as far, having smaller ones closer to you means fewer people are connected to it, which will allow you to not overload it. Verizon's also spending $1 billion with a B to run new fiber lines to their towers. So there is physical differences here with 5G versus 4G. 4G is not able to handle, if every device in everybody's home was connected to 4G, it would overload 4G and crush it. 5G is being designed in a way capable of handling the environment where your computer, your phone, your fridge, your doorbell is all connecting to it in a way to handle that. So yeah, 5G is made to handle it, 4G is not. It's kind of like saying, why can't my, Ford Fusion, my little itty bitty car, haul as much as a GMC Yukon XL? Well, it's a small car. It's just not built to handle a ton of passengers. Where a Yukon XL is built to handle a ton of stuff. And that's kind of like what 5G is. 5G is the Yukon XL. Put 8 people in there and all their bags. Great. where the Ford Fusion was built in a time of day where getting 4 people in it was a good day. Remember, 4G is actually fairly old technology at this point, relatively speaking to the world of technology, and it's just was not meant for it was not built with the idea of you using it to stream Netflix all day. It's just not how 4G was built and designed when they were developing it back in the day, where they thought you would be Facebook messaging, using AIM on it and sending email, and that would be about it. Maybe a little bit of music streaming, and that's it. Nowadays, you're way over here where it's much faster. D, that's just not true. So D says fiber will always be faster than 5G, not to mention latency. Not technically. So 5G is technically able to, in theory, handle faster content. Latency-wise, you'd be amazed how small it is. Totally different. You have to clear your mind. You're trying to put 4G, 3G user ideas on 5G. Totally different system, and it will work totally different. So yes, 5G will be able to handle fiber speeds with most current standards of fiber. And the latency is crazy small where it won't even be a problem. They're designing it for to do things like manage autonomous vehicles and robots and so forth, where very small latency is required. Luke, 8.0 Oreo update on my NVIDIA Shield. Good thing or too many bad reviews? I think the 8.0 is a good update on the NVIDIA Shield. I would go for it. Buzzer can be watched via Twitch. Well, let me look at this. Huh. Twitch adding Buzzer. That's pretty cool. Do you got a link? So Buzzer is an over-the-air TV network. Yeah, look at that. Huh. So Buzzer is an over-the-air TV network that has a bunch of classic game shows on there, like Family Feud, etc. And they launched an online stream last week, and it looks like they launched it on Twitch too, which means on many devices you'll be able to stream that. Wow, I just found a new post for today, so we'll have to check that out. Speaking of which, I only have about 5 minutes. Gotta get my daughter in bed tonight. It's on Dad today, so we're gonna wrap this up in about 5 minutes. But hey, I see a ton of new people here. If you have questions, get them in real quick and try to answer them. Don't forget to visit us over at facebook.com. Search for the user group Core Cutting Tech Support there. If you have more questions, post it there. People will help you. Almost 40,000 people there, so keep that in mind. Yeah, Buzzer just launched last week on their website. Looks like they also launched it on their on Twitch, which is pretty cool. Twitch used to be all about gaming. Increasingly, Twitch is becoming a great core cutting tool. Right now, they're airing for free the first like 7 or 9. I can't remember how many Doctors. All the classic Doctor Who episodes are streaming on Twitch for free. And more content's going over there. People have started asking me if I'm going to do this show on Twitch. Maybe someday we will. But it looks like Buzzard is now streaming for free on Twitch. How's my daughter's foot after breaking it? Really good. It's healing. She's ready to get that walking boot off next week. Any updates on the Disney, Comcast, and CBS Viacom? No. We'll have to wait until the Fox shareholders vote. I think next week. We'll have to wait and see. Amazon Cube anytime soon. It could be Danielle. It could be next fall. From our understanding, the device is pretty much ready. It's more of a when Amazon wants to release it question. All the any way to know, any ways to watch live local PBS stations. All the stations should be streaming because we pay by taxes. That's not technically true. That's one of the greatest confusions about PBS. It's called public broadcasting, but if you go to Corecast News, type in PBS, you'll find a great story about this. 10% of their budget comes from federal government, from your tax dollars. And majority of the budget actually comes from ads. And you're probably saying, wait a minute, PBS doesn't have ads. Yeah, they do. All that, like, this show has been sponsored by XYZ. It's actually an ad at the end of the show. And then some of it comes from local universities and schools who support it. So just keep that in mind. That PBS is really not a publicly broadcast service out there. While it may be out there, it's not direct taxpayer dollars going into it. At least not a majority of the funding there. I mean, look at Sesame Street. A majority of their funding is coming from stuff like licensing deals and selling their products. And that's one thing about PBS. They make a majority of their money from licensing their shows to streaming services, DVDs, merchandise. That's really where PBS is getting most of its funding. So PBS is saying, hey, Comcast, all of them, they're paying PBS big bucks for that money. So PBS is like, we don't want to give it away for free. Then Comcast won't pay us the same amount of money. So just keep that in mind. Have you thought about making all your these into an audio podcast? Yes, Flex. We actually have a podcast out there ready to do that. It's kind of a time thing to go back and do that, but we're going to start doing that soon. I'll be rolling out a audio for this. I'm not sure. Quick question: how many people would like this show to be in an audio format where you can just listen to it? And bear in mind with YouTube, if you have YouTube now called Premium, formerly YouTube Red, you can just listen to the audio through your phone or tablet. Just start the stream, close the YouTube app, and the audio will continue to play in the background. What services are you most excited to get first, 5G or 3.0? 5G, because I think it will drive down not right away, because with all new technologies, you need to wait until there's 3 or 4 partners live. But once you get 3 or 4 partners out there with 5G in your area, the cost of internet will come down. The reality of it is data caps will start going away. All kinds of things will happen because competition's entering into the home internet market, something that hasn't been for a very long time. So just keep that in mind. Competition's good. It's your friend, and we need more competition. So some people like the idea of a podcast option, and I actually own the podcast feed. I just have to go out there and do it. Download this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But hey, I'm gonna wrap this up, and we'll come back here next week Wednesday. I know I'm cutting the show 15 minutes short. I have to put my daughter to bed today, but I have something, and I have to finish packing for the family reunion. But hey, next week Wednesday, right here. Check out CoreCardsNews.com. I'll be posting a full story right now, real quick, about the Buzzard deal on Twitch. Thanks for that tip. That's awesome. If you have a tip about anything cord cutting, visit CoreCardsNews.com. Hit that contact us button. Send us a tip. I would greatly appreciate it. But I will see you next week, right here, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern, from a secret, undisclosed location next week. Maybe I'll be sitting next to a lake. I don't know. Have we ever done a Q&A from a beach before? Could be kind of cool. I don't know. We'll see. See you next week, right here. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.